Item number 11, a discussion regarding expansion of community garden. You want to read it? Or you want to introduce it?
I think, Evan, this is part of your internship, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great. If I may then, Mr. Chair, can I turn it over to you?
Sure.
Do you want to stand and hold it?
My name is Evan Lundgren, and I'm representing the Andover Community Garden Association. And the following information is provided in response to the questions and issues raised by the Commission on December 20th Conservation Commission meeting regarding the request from the Andover Community Garden to expand the community garden on the E.A. Hammond site. And we hope for your positive vote this evening. A bit of background, because we had a really successful and positive season, we see it reasonable to expand the garden because we also believe it will not be difficult to fill the expansion. And the proposed expansion, we have a diagram here, but also in words it will be about 10,000 square feet from a previous 6,460 square feet. So it will be a total of 0.24 acres after the expansion. And the proposed bed will be the proposed expansion will have two sized beds, which will be 50 square feet and 125 square feet. There will be 4 of the smaller plots and 8 of the larger plots, which will be a total of 42 beds. And it will also be fitted with 5-foot wide paths for increased accessibility. Now, the first issue that was raised was whether or not traffic and parking would be a problem if we did expand at the site. And we don't currently experience many problems due to the activity at the community garden being staggered throughout the day. So relatively, there is never a large influx of people at one particular time during the day. And on community work days when there may be an increased influx of people, we do have an agreement with the Department of Municipal Work to park at the leaf composting site across the street. And also we are able to park alongside the road if we do need additional parking. And we were requested to provide a traffic report from the police that Bob Douglas very kindly provided. And this report identified that has not identified any incident as being specific to this site or the community garden. Now, the second issue that was raised is what materials the Andover Community Garden Association is expecting to use for the proposed beds. And we are expecting to use cedar wooden boards that are about 10 to 15 inches in height, nailed with rust-proof galvanized nails. And we request the raised beds to be allowed to control the erosion, which is mainly on the southeastern side there. And initially, this could be only affecting about as few as 5 beds, but we would like to proceed as we can afford the beds and producing the total bed, all the beds being raised, which would be 42 raised beds. And the third issue that was raised was the need for an increase to the escrow account to revert the site to its original shape should the garden close. And originally the escrow proposal was about $750, and this was for the purpose of removing fencing, replowing, and reseeding the field. And Bob Douglas very graciously contacted Craig's Contract Labor, a contracting company, concerning the possibility of 2 scenarios. One being if just 4 raised beds were involved in the expansion, and the other if all the beds were raised. And these 2 scenarios would come to an estimated cost of $550 and $900, excluding plowing and reseeding costs, but involving the replowing and reseeding costs of about $200 and $20. This suggests a grand total of $1,120. And those were all the issues raised, and if you have any questions about the solutions, please ask away.
We weren't originally talking about raising all the bids. Is that my understanding from the last discussion? I could be wrong on that, but
I recall them talking about both scenarios. I think they had asked for maybe all the beds and then said that there was erosion specifically in 5, and I think Don had said to revisit the escrow account looking at those 2 options.
okay.
I think his concern was not the number of raised beds, it was the cost of the removal of the number of raised beds should the garden decide to close.
Okay. Okay. Other questions?
I'm very much in support of this. It's not a question, but I am very much in support of this because many of our neighboring towns have a long and distinguished history of community gardens. Our neighboring town, Chelmsford, has many acres devoted to community gardens, and in fact, land has been bought to put in Chapter 97 land to encourage community gardens. I know Chapter 97 might be something that people are concerned about because that's land that is given to the Conservation Commission, or perhaps it buys the land, and is a community garden an acceptable use, and yes, it is, as passive recreation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, you've done a good job to answer the questions that we had before, which is good. In terms of the escrow account, that would be set up when, or increased when?
It would be increased at the point where we can discuss it with Bob. So we usually just work offline with Bob to determine, the parameters of various things that we do, and also our advisors are Ellen and Alex. And so when we need to sort stuff out, we usually work through these 3 people, and also Bob DeSalle.
Bob DeSalle.
Thanks, Bob. Who helps us on these issues.
Okay.
And so we will work in conjunction with him to set that up. But primarily in this case with Bob Douglas.
And I think probably I would have to talk to Tom Watkins from our, to set up an escrow account or something similar. Often for projects, the town will hold a bond and in a special account, and I kind of foresee something like that for this case.
Did we not have something like that already in place, or?
We have a set aside.
You
So
have a set aside.
we have the money.
Okay.
I thought the agreement was that we would be, the town would have the money.
Well, I think that's what I'm trying to work out.
I think that's what we agreed to last time,
We did.
and it didn't happen.
Well, the town just hasn't had a chance to get to it, I think, yet.
Yeah.
But the garden
We can
is
set
willing
that
to
up.
do it.
It's not it happens all the time. We can take care of that.
Okay. Yeah, and we're perfectly willing to ensure that happens.
Okay. Can we get some clarification on that before they set to doing the new work in the spring?
Sure. I imagine it'll be taken care of by the next meeting, and I can give you progress report on it.
Okay. Mr. DeSalle, are you satisfied with the quotes here in terms of dismantling and restoring it back to nature, if
Yes,
need be?
Bob DeSalle, 44 Linwood Street. Yeah, I have to say, initially I was a bit critical because of the past history of community gardens in Andover. But I have to say, driving up the street in July and seeing all those flowers and the plants, it really looked really great. So I think they did a wonderful job, and I'd be in favor of them going forward, 100%.
Okay.
Absolutely.
If no one else on the commission has any questions or comments, I'm going to open it up to the public. Anyone in the audience want to speak to the community garden? Okay. All right, so I need an approval or a motion to approve.
Make a motion that we approve the enlargement of the community garden
As stated in
as stated
these plans.
in these plans.
Okay. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, you're all set.
Thank you
Motion
very much.
approved.
And thank you for your excellent presentation tonight. I missed the first one in December, but I hear you were spot on. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.